I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. Unless, of course, you like this video, darling. Here's Hugo. Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today I am joined by my esteemed colleague. It's Marc from Long Island Watches. How are you, sir?
I am doing excellent. A little different circumstances than our last meeting, but
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good, good. How's the family?
Everybody good still, just kind of rolling with life and everything that it's throwing at us right now.
Good. Well, I'm relieved to hear that everybody's safe and well. We should kind of explain in case people missed the last episode.
Sure. Yeah. We met under different circumstances. It's funny because when we filmed, that was back in March, I came out to you in Philly, and this whole thing was just starting to come up to a boil. And I remember waiting for the train in Grand Central, and I was like, do I lean on the railing? Do I not lean on the railing? What's going on right now? And sure enough, man, came to you, filmed, came back, and then I would say 3 or 4 days later, the world just imploded. And then the video went live, and then people were like, how are you guys shaking hands? Like, hey, this was all filmed before disaster time.
Absolutely. Well, I guess we should start with the wristwatch check.
Oh, sure. You can go first.
Okay, well,
it's your show.
I think I'm wearing the same watch.
Oh my God, yeah, you were wearing that one. You were.
You know why? And this is terrible, right? But I bought this shirt purely to wear with this watch.
To match the watch? Yeah. See, I'm not a slave to that.
There we go. It had to be done. It had to be done.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I'm doing double, so well, I've got.
Of course you are. Of course.
I've got my Islander that I'm wearing.
Very nice.
And then I've got a wave dial that I'll be bringing out eventually in the Islander format. That
is this a new one?
This will be a new one eventually when it gets out of production. This kind of got a wave dial with it's loomed and everything. It's really slick looking.
Very nice.
So really cool. So kind of just like a sample for now, but I find myself wearing it all the time.
Of course.
And
are those 38 millimeters?
Actually, they're both 43.
Oh, they look smaller.
Yeah, though I am in that transitional wrist size of 38, I could wear a 38. Right. I don't think I own any divers that are the mid-size. I do them all in, I guess, the full size, the 43. I just like the size. I'm just used to it, I guess. I mean, but anyone, I can wear a 38, no problem, but this is kind of just what I gravitate towards.
Yeah. Have you any idea how many people have requested for me to review one?
Oh,
it's just
I'm sure we could work it out.
I should. I really should. Now I had a few questions for you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm organized here. Well, so we had originally planned to make a kind of series that it was really nice for you visiting, and I think a lot of people didn't know that we've known each other for years. So they were kind of like, oh wow, you're in the same video? That's crazy.
Crossover, they called it.
Yeah, the crossover, yeah. But actually, I think out of everybody I've met in the watch industry, I think you were one of the first people I got to know.
Honored.
Yeah, well, so am I. But it started as, I was a customer first.
Right, yes, absolutely, 100%. I didn't even know who you were.
Yeah.
So we shipped you something, and it went to your address, and it just another shipment. No clue.
Right.
No clue.
Right. That's usually how I operate, because if you're going to recommend somebody,
exactly,
you got to put your money where your mouth is, and you got to make sure that they're professional and they're
right, totally independent.
Yeah, exactly. Now I did a video a while ago discussing, I think it was building a watch collection under $500, like a 3-piece collection.
Okay.
And people wanted to do the same format again for $1,000.
Okay.
So I thought, well, I need to collaborate with somebody.
Of course.
Why not Marc from Long Island Watches?
They got to be 3 affordable watches to be under $1,000.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
So
Sure.
I've come to the conclusion, basically, a realization that for me, I think the perfect amount for a collection, or the basis, the backbone of a collection, should be about 4 watches.
Right.
For various reasons. I know you're not a dress watch guy.
No, I own some, but not really a dress because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't dress.
I know your stuff. Is there a particular amount of watches that you think is just like, yeah, I'd like to have that?
Well, me personally, no, because I don't even know how many are in are in the night table. There's probably at this point 40 or 50
in your own collection.
Yeah, and compared to most of my customers, it's probably not even a lot. But as far as a good base, I think 3 to 5 is a good number because it should give you enough variety to cover the major contributors, and then to maybe one piece kind of is more you, and then one piece is kind of more formal. And I think it more well-rounded, I will say.
Yeah.
And then obviously keeping it in budget is always everybody's is what everybody wants. So yeah, I would say 3 to 5 is probably a good base number that most people, because you'll be able to get one for every day. You'll be able to get one for sport, and you'll be able to get one for dress if that's what you do. And then a couple, maybe a knock around, and
beta watch,
and then maybe something special.
Yeah.
So that would be 5. So I guess so.
Absolutely.
Never really thought about it too much because, like I said, it's.
Well, I think we're kind of exempt because I kind of buy and sell in my own collection, and then I have my keepers, and then as there's watches I just buy to review. Okay. That's the only way I can get my hands on them.
Makes sense.
Some companies still don't agree in lending watches, which is crazy. I don't understand. Right. Where should we start? What would your first pick be?
Well, if I was gonna do, what would it be? Of course, it would be. I think everyone needs a dive watch in their collection, 100%, no doubt. No, I don't care what brand you get it from. Obviously, I pick an Islander because that's my brand that I started. But I think everyone needs a dive watch. My choice would be an Islander. It has all the upgrades that most new guys would eventually want, and it puts them into a package that's majorly affordable. So sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel, solid link bracelet, solid link, solid end links, good clasp, logo crown, good lume. Everything, rather than buying, say, a inexpensive diver and then having to spend all the money for the upgrades, it's kind of all in there already. So I've thought for budget consciousness, it's definitely the way to go, 100%.
Right. Yeah, now I see the logic there, because if you do buy, let's say you buy a Seiko and then you start modding it out, I don't think people realize how quick the costs start escalating.
It goes up to $700 pretty quickly. Yeah. And a lot of it's labor. Forget the parts. A lot of it's labor, and there's so much labor.
Very true.
Very meticulous, and I can't stand doing the work personally. I don't like it at all. So it's really.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did. I don't have it handy, but I took one of my Islanders, added a red seconds hand to it, and just doing it, I was just like, ugh, I hate doing this. I hate doing hands, because hands, you have to be so meticulous. Dust is the absolute enemy.
You are very.
I'm an engineer, so I'm very meticulous. But
yeah, exactly.
Every time you crack open a watch, if you're not in a really, really clean area, dust always finds its way in. And so then you put the whole thing back together, and then you put a 5X loop on your eye, and you look and you go, oh.
And then you have to disassemble it.
Disassemble it again, air, do it again. So that, I abhor it.
I can understand that. I have to confess that I spent about $1,000 on my mod.
Oh my goodness!
But I didn't intend to. I thought, 500 maximum.
Right, sure.
But, and then it just got ridiculous, right? But I have to say, I do appreciate the professionality. Professionality, is that even a word?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Excuse me, I'm very,
it's the
very
talent. I get
I'm
it.
very, very tired. I've been up since... I got up at 4 to edit tomorrow's
goodness.
video. And,
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be late for this. So, yeah, I'm making up words. But the guy I hired, he had a water pressure, a depth, you know, to mimic,
tester.
Yeah, and which is great because it's actually 200 meters water resistant.
Right, you know it's still good.
And then he, you know, he regulates it, and it's just it was a first class service, and you know, people don't understand that he has to pay his bills.
Of course.
And you know, he's a professional watchmaker, so.
And it's very serial. Their money is made one piece at a time.
Exactly.
You know, and it's one person. It's how much product can one person produce. It's not like it's a factory. It's, you know,
Absolutely.
I can do 4 watches today. Each watch gets me $150. I can, you know, then you're limited how much you can make. So that's why a lot of the good guys really get a premium.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, while we're confessing,
Sure, shoot.
have you got any new acquisitions you want to admit to, or?
Nothing I want to admit to.
Okay, fair enough.
I have some new Islanders
Right.
that I did. I made one that looks just like my Yachtmaster.
Oh, nice. Did you post that on Instagram?
I sure did.
Right.
And then apparently I need to make a limited series of it because
Yeah.
that's a lot of people want it. But other new acquisitions?
No.
No,
Okay.
nothing.
I vowed that I wouldn't buy anything, and of course I've ordered 3 Seikos. So.
Relentless.
Yes, I know. And one of them you're gonna think, oh my god, what am I on? Because it's the most gaudy, loud Seiko I could possibly find.
Well, can't wait then. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'll save it for the unboxing. But sorry, excuse me. Right. So as you've gone for a diver,
Yes.
I'm gonna
about
go
you?
for the Laurier Neptune, which I'll hold it up to. I love this piece, and I don't wear it. Sorry, the mic's there. I don't wear it enough. It's not focusing on. Here we go. Is it focusing? There we go. I don't wear it enough. It's a little Seiko based automatic.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I've seen them before. I met the owner a couple of times.
Yeah, great guy. Great guy.
Very nice. Very humble. Great watches. They have such a great vintage vibe to them. Great size.
Shout out to Lorenzo.
Actually have his business card sitting on my dresser.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I like them. Very nice.
To me, when I first put it on, and you'll notice I still have it on the bracelet. I'm a NATO guy predominantly.
Yeah, sure.
As you can probably tell, but I just adore this bracelet. I've never taken it off, and that's so rare. And it makes me feel like James Bond. It's got that kind of 6538 Dr. No. Did I get that reference correct? I think I might have done. Probably a world first. There we go. So yeah, it gives me that kind of early Submariner feel, the big crown and
Right.
For $400, I think this is the first generation, but $400, you can't really.
No, it's a good looking. I love it. It's a great watch. Like I said, great size.
Yeah.
Nailed it. It's got its own look to it.
Yeah, it's not a homage to anything, but at the same time, it gives you that feel of a classic watch. And
Sure, absolutely.
God, now I want to wear it. Now I want to wear it again.
Well, you have 2 wrists.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good idea. Should I Schwarzkopf it?
Of course you should. I'm surprised you weren't.
Yeah. Actually, it's a little bit tight. I think this wrist is.
Because it's your right wrist.
Yeah.
It's your dominant.
Yeah, but God, yeah, I've forgotten how much I love this watch. Right, sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Second choice, everyday watch or
I'm
dress
actually
watch?
going more with kind of a pilot's kind of everyday watch. It's a Laco with the
nice.
blue dial. I think personally blue is my favorite color.
Nice.
So big fan of blue. Love what they did here. It's a 39 millimeter. It's based on a
Is
Miota
that the
movement.
Ashen?
This would be an Aachen.
Aachen. Oh, I do apologize.
Your letters are correct. Your pronunciation is wrong.
Right.
Yeah, it's an Aachen. Aachen.
I'm trying to remember. I think Entschuldigen. I think is that I'm sorry in German. I can't remember.
I
but
don't
anyway.
know. All I know, the only German I know is limited to Laco watch names because they're all cities usually.
Right. Oh, yes, that's right.
So yeah, 39 millimeter. So it's a great little case.
Lovely. Is that the Miyota base?
It is
right?
a Miyota. It's a Miyota. I think they changed them all to. They changed them to hacking now. So just a great little watch. Comes on a great strap. Very comfortable. I guess I would classify. I mean, obviously it's a Flieger. But I guess I'm going to classify it almost as an everyday watch, and around about $410, $410. Doesn't break the bank, and what I really dig about Laco is that they're still one of the 5 original that made pilots' watches for the Luftwaffe back during and before World War II. So there's a lot of history there.
Absolutely.
They're still kind of under this. They're carrying the same name. They're under very similar ownership. So there's just a lot of history and good stuff going on.
A legitimate Flieger makers.
It's a legitimate Flieger. It's got everything that. It's based on the DNA of all the original things. Just obviously Laco makes 55 millimeter oversizes, but those are a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like these for the styling, and I think the size at 39 millimeter is perfect. Because even if like a wrist like mine, 6 3/4, a 39 millimeter Flieger's got, it's got no bezel to it. It's almost entirely glass. So
it's all about that dial.
It's all about the dial. The crystal is probably, the watch is 39. The crystal's probably 36, 35, whereas on a 43 millimeter diver, the crystal is like 31. So you get so much more viewable area in a smaller package. So at 39, I think is prime for me.
And do you, if I remember correctly, do you get a choice of A and B dials, or is it just one?
As a vendor, it makes it difficult because every time you get into a new model, there's different dials and then different sizes. So you can go with A dial, B dial. This would be a B. The A would be just simpler with just numbers. So you do A dial, B dial, and then they do everything at 39 and 42 in the Miyota watches. So, just 2 styles quickly morphs once you add colors and stuff, and now they're doing taupe. It quickly grows into a collection of like 14 or 16 watches or something.
Wow.
Yeah, but I like this one. I think this is a great piece.
I'm glad you mentioned the size because I didn't mention on the Neptune it's 39. I'm pretty sure it's 39.
Yeah.
And do you think sizes are going down?
Yes. I do. I think more people are clamoring for it. As I've said in a lot of my videos in the past, the 38 millimeter crowd has the loudest voice for what they want. I mean, by far, whenever something comes out, whether it be a watch from me or in my store or made by me, whatever it is, they always say, where are the 38s? Bring out the 38s. You never like show a 38 and the 42 guys come out and say, where are the 42s? I just think that 38s are and definitely underrepresented for the most part. I would say the most watches, obviously if you go back, 10 years ago, most watches were 45, 46, 47, over the years, the big watch phase hit. But I think now a lot of companies, Seiko, for example, finally came out with that little 40 millimeter, the Seiko Five.
Right. I was a bit surprised at that, to be honest.
It was actually, I think they did something smart in the design arena.
Good, because recently I think they've been a bit all over the place. Like they make some great releases, and then they do some baffling stuff, which is just like, why did you do that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
So you consider it a dress watch?
I've got a different pick for a dress. I consider this to be more of almost like an the diver everyday also, but this would be my pilot's watch. Maybe a little bit fancier, but I wouldn't call this a formal watch. I would say almost like a field or an everyday watch in a way. Easy to read. It's blue, which I simply adore. And the bead blasted case is just cool.
Very nice.
It's cool.
Very
looking.
nice.
Yeah.
Is that a sunburst style?
Yes, it is. It is. So cool. I know that what they do is they paint polished brass, so it really radiates nicely.
Nice. Well, you're gonna know this one.
Uh-oh.
Flighty.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'll just hold it up to the camera. This thing loves to take its sweet time focusing. There we go.
Well, there's so much stuff on it.
Yeah, exactly. So you know the Flighty.
Absolutely.
It's very difficult not to just call it a one-watch collection in itself, because it can literally do everything.
Correct. I agree.
200 meters water resistance, which is just ridiculous on a pilot watch.
Right.
Then you've got, you know, a choice of alarm or a second time zone.
Yes.
You got the chronograph, obviously. It's hard as nails. People give the Hardlex a bit of a hard time. Personally, I've never had an issue with it. I think it's perfectly fine.
Most of my watches with mineral crystals have no scratches in them.
I've actually dropped this one like face down on concrete, and it was absolutely fine. Just a little mark, and it was fine. But recently, in the last year, I've come to appreciate Seiko's chronographs, especially pilot chronographs in particular, because I did a 5 years later video with this.
Okay.
And in going back in the history of Seiko, first of all, they did the kamikaze watches, the infamous kamikaze watches in World War II, which is quite early on. And then I didn't know, but I recently found out that they actually issued chronographs to the Royal Air Force.
Oh, really?
From 1984 to the 90s. And it's the same movement. Let me just quote, because I know I'm going to forget this. It's the 7A28. And that's famous for being in A View for a Kill.
Okay.
A View to a Kill.
A View to a Kill.
Roger Moore, he wears the polar version in 1985, right at the beginning of the movie. The RAF one was black dial, sandblasted, a bit like the Laco there. What was interesting is that movement was the first quartz analog chronograph in the world.
Wow.
And it's an ancestor.
Quartz analog chronograph. Okay.
It's an ancestor. I mean, this movement...
That movement bears a similar nomenclature to it. 7082, 7062. I'm just going from memory.
Yeah, it's I can't remember. It's far too small to read on the dial, but it's related. It's a descendant, you could say, of that. And when I found all this stuff out, I just thought, wow, and it's crazy. A couple of years ago, they were $120. I've owned 3-4 of these. I love them. I can't get enough of it. And yeah, it's not perfect. The lugs are too close to the case. It's a real pain to get 21mm bands and blah blah. But I love it. I wouldn't change it.
It's a great watch. It does screw. You know, you mentioned 200 meters of water resistance. It's screw down crown. It's screw down buttons. It's incorporating the alarm and the chronograph and a slide rule, which nobody will ever use. But it looks cool. It
looks damn cool.
And the yellow accent is really nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Agreed. I do have one.
You do have one. Are they so? It's official. They're discontinued, right?
Honestly,
who knows?
You know, it's like who knows. Like I had said a while ago. You know, when I found out the SKX was discontinued, I literally heard it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Not that the lady was a horse; she was very nice. But I was literally told, yes, that watch, you know, no more. This one, I don't know. I got some in. I want to say a couple of months ago, about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, and they bore end of 2019 serial numbers. So that's still fairly recent for them to get through the entire supply chain and then wind up in my hand. So I don't know. At least with the 7S, at least with the SKX, I'm sorry, at least with the SKX, discontinuing makes sense because the movement is obsolete.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they probably were just running through whatever movements they had left in whip, work in production, whatever, and that's it. But something like that, it's a quartz movement. It's not that movement they use other places. It's not going anywhere. So
it's a great movement.
It is. It's like you said, to combine an alarm and a chrono.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Or a second time zone if you want to fiddle with the settings. Yep.
Do you still sell them?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting.
Last check, I actually checked yesterday. There were still a bunch of them in stock. Yeah. But you said they were 125. They're between 200 and 300 now.
Let me do the math. So the Neptune was 400. This was 200. So I've got 400 left. Okay. I think I have my last.
So I was at 3.
Yeah.
And then I was at 410. So I'm at a little over 7. I have one left, and I'm going to have money left over to like get lunch and some bubble gum or something. My last one, I think, needs to be a dress watch. As much as it pains me that, yes, I do occasionally. I own a suit. Notice how I said a suit.
A suit, yeah.
A suit. I will likely be buried in a suit. I have no, especially nowadays, forget it, with the way things are now. Who the hell knows when I'll be going out again? But, you know, I got away with one suit from college through like 12 years after graduation. And then eventually it didn't fit anymore. I had to go to another suit. Anyway, so formal watch, I would pick an Orient Bambino. I mean, it has to be.
Oh, yes.
I don't care what Bambino you get. I mean, Lord knows there's been, over the years, probably about 25 different ones. They did versions 1, 2, 3, and then they changed everything to Gen 2, and then did versions 1, 2, 3 again. This is actually a Gen 1, so this one actually doesn't even hand wind and hack. But they all share the same kind of DNA. They're 40.5 millimeters in diameter. It's got a mineral crystal. So even the ones nowadays that hand wind and hack, because everybody loves that stuff, like 150, 160. They make beautiful ones. This one happens to be a white dial with rose gold accents. They make them with cream dial and blue accents, white dial and blue accents. They make black dials. They make charcoal dials. They make blue dials. So many. I mean, they kind of... in my opinion, a little bit Orient, they saturated the Bambino market. I think they made just too many varieties of them, but it's such a great watch. It's an excellent entry-level watch into the dress market arena, and it gets you set up to elevate yourself and get something different in the future. But like the Flighty, 21 millimeter lugs.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Why? I don't know why. It makes no sense. I know I carry a few straps that I got specially from Hirsch that are 21 millimeter, and from another vendor that cuts Cayman Croc for me in 21 millimeter for these. But I actually had one of my bracelet vendors in Germany concoct a 21 millimeter curved end link mesh bracelet that I came out with a few years ago, specifically for the Bambino. It fits the Flighty. It fits the Bambino.
Are you still selling that? I've got to buy that for my Flighty.
Absolutely.
Right, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm onto your website. Order, like.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You know, this gets into like watch companies are good at designing watches, but they don't always listen to people. Which is where I guess I have the edge on the Islander, because I've been listening to people for 17 years.
Well, that's why they're doing well.
I know what people want, but when you look at a watch like this and you look in the aftermarket, 21s just don't exist. It's very telling. I don't know if it's a very Japanese thing or if it's a very corporate thing. But years ago, I had petitioned Orient in the U.S. to bring in those dolphin straps that were originally on the Mako and Ray divers. And they basically, and I was able to get a few hundred of them at one time, and great sellers because people want to switch them up. And eventually I was told, well, Mark, Japan won't sell them to us anymore, through the U.S. distributor. I'm like, why? And they said their rationale is the watch comes in a bracelet. Why are you changing it? This is the way we made it. Why are you altering it? And I guess that's the mentality. So kind of,
I can kind of understand that. You know what? You've made watches, but you design and make watches in a totally different to please the customer, and because you're basing it on your experience and your knowledge.
Correct.
Which is a big advantage. But most watch designers, and I was thinking about this the other day. Why? I can't remember what watch it was. Actually, I think it was a Seiko. It had some ridiculous... No, it was a Yema. That was right. That's right. It's a Yema. And it had a 21 millimeter lug width. And they all do. And it's a smashing watch. I love it. Amazing history, amazing brand.
Right.
It had this new in-house movement. Really impressive, right? But 21, and I couldn't figure out. And then I realized I was trying to imagine it with an 18 or a 20.
Yeah.
It would have thrown the proportions off. And from a design perspective...
Yeah, I know designers kill for that. Yeah, exactly. They don't care about you and your straps.
This is my baby. Like, you're not, so I was about to break into a very bad French impression.
Well, it almost sounded like Hugo was coming on. That's what I was getting. I'm like, was Hugo coming out? Is he in the corner?
How dare you? Yeah. So, don't do terrible French impressions. I love Yema. If they're watching, I love Yema.
But no, I totally understand what you say. If you're a designer and you went to school for design and 40.5 millimeter case and a 21 millimeter strap and, divide one by the other, it's like the golden ratio. And
exactly. Fibonacci, yeah.
Meanwhile, you and I, like, it's 1 millimeter. It's 39.7 thousandths of an inch. No one's going to notice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I get it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. I've totally forgotten what we're doing now.
I did the Bambino. That was my third watch. And then,
so you haven't got the 38 in yet.
Of what?
Or of the Bambino.
They made it. No, I did. They did the it's 37.
Oh, okay.
The 5S.
Right.
The Bambino 5S. I want to say isn't it 37? I think it's 37.
Interesting.
What boggles me about that watch is it's very unpopular.
What?
Exactly. I thought it would be way more popular.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, and then guess what they did with that one? Guess what size strap they put it on?
Oh, God.
17.
Oh.
It's like, kick me in the face.
Yeah.
I mean,
why?
18, from what I've heard from, I think, almost all strap vendors, 18 is the #1 size, like, in the world.
Oh, really?
#1. Yeah, like, in the world.
I would have thought 20.
That's what I would have thought. But in the watch world you and I are in, we're in a different watch world than, I'm going to say, Daniel Wellington, Fossil, all these other brands that really make up the...
Never heard of them.
But the brands that make up volume, like serious volume of the watch industry, you know, they're sized more for usually about 18. So at least that's the way it was a few years ago. But then I was like, 17? Like, 17's like 1950s stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, nobody makes 17s anymore. 19's a little more popular.
Yeah.
17. Yeah, so
I have an Amiga Seamaster from 1956 or 7, I can't remember, but yeah, it has a 17.
17.
And it is such a pain to source.
Yep. Yeah, no, nobody does it.
Wow. Well, I mean, do you think you're ever going to get them in again? I would definitely review it.
I have them. They just sit on the shelf. Probably, you know, a little pop in the beginning when they came in, because they were announced. I'll tell you, these years are crazy. Was it 2019 in Basel? They said that they were going to come out, and they came out the end of 2019. So it's almost a year ago already, and just no real
so
pop
strange.
to them. Yeah,
because
very
that's
strange.
such a great size, and
I think it's perfect.
In-house, and they are automatic again, right?
They are automatic. Every Bambino's. I don't think I have any Orient quartz watches. I don't think Orient USA brings in any more quartz watches anymore. They did a while ago. I think they're all done.
I'd love to see a manual wind Bambino, super thin.
Yeah, that would be nice. Ooh. They did one manual wind watch. It was the Monarch. But what they did, they cheated. They took an automatic movement. They took the rotor off.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah. Wow. But other than that, no, there's never really been a manual wind Orient that I can think of. That was the only one. That.
They should. Orient, if you're listening, well, they're not going to listen to this.
They're not listening.
No.
They're not listening. And plus, for, you know, the however many they would sell, it's just not worth it, you know.
Right.
Not when, you know, you sell Makos and Rays by the truckload.
Well, talking of, that's a nice segue into the next watch. Talking of manual wind, I'm going to go with Hamilton Khaki mechanical.
Nice.
It's a great 38mm. It's very military, but I mean, you know, Hamilton, they made watches in just about every conflict. Predominantly, most of their heritage, they were American, and then they were bought by Swatch. Amazing, ridiculous history.
Yeah.
From the railroad watches, the marine chronometers, and then they've been in over 400 movies. You know, real lineage, real military history to them, you know, from Vietnam.
Sure.
Yeah, just amazing. And the design hasn't changed that much, and it's just affordable ETA, very beautifully made, tough little great everyday watches. I haven't really got a dress watch in my 3.
No.
I've just realized.
You did. That's, well, maybe 38 at the Hamilton, kind of.
Yeah, I think you could.
Yeah, a little casual, maybe. Yeah, a little casual.
I'm not a suit guy either.
Well, yeah.
I'm not.
I know.
Turtleneck and a sports jacket. That's about as formal as I get.
That's about how.
Yeah.
Oh, you're higher than me still.
Actually, you know what's funny? Talking about that meal we had at the restaurant. That was the last time I went to a restaurant.
I believe it. That's crazy.
It's insane.
That's, let's see, what was 5? Yes, 5 months ago.
Oh my God. I'm so glad we had a slap up meal, as we said.
Yeah,
Do you say that?
No, well, I know what you mean, but slap up?
Yeah.
No slap ups.
Yeah,
We had a
slap up meal. I had
proper
a
meal?
Yeah, proper meal. Yeah, I think I had escargot and I
You
can't
did.
even remember. Yeah,
Not my thing.
Anyway, yeah, I think you could pull it off in a
Yeah.
formal. When you look at it, you see that history a bit like the Laco. It's
Right.
got the genuine, you know,
Real deal going on.
the real deal going on. That 24-hour markings, and it's just unpretentious. It's just.
So where is that in price?
Well, I think you can get them for around 400, which just
You
fits
really
in.
just sneak in there.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I'm not getting an extra meal. You've got the extra meal.
So I was at like what did I got? 300, 410. That's 710, 810, 8. I have $140 left over.
Right. Well, dinner's on you then.
Dinner's on me. Or I could get like bezel inserts or sapphire crystals, or I could upgrade a watch. Maybe I'll do that.
A watch case, some straps.
Some straps. There you go.
Yeah.
Because that'll make it. Straps will take a watch from one extreme all the way to the other.
That is true. I am kind of considering. I know you don't like this watch, but the gold flighty.
No, SNA 414.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it.
I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. There's something. It's just something a bit brash about it. I kind of like.
Yeah, I got them in like once or twice. I haven't seen them since, and man, that thing is just.
Yeah.
Now, would you wear it on the full gold, or would you?
Actually, probably on a strap.
Yeah. See that might be okay.
Yeah.
That might be okay.
I was the same thing about gold Daytonas. I thought it was just too much. And then I saw an old gentleman wearing one on a black leather strap, and I just thought, my God, that is elegant.
Yeah, it looks
That's
nice.
really
It offsets it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like people get the Golden Turtle, the SRPC 44, and I don't sell it. I sell the watch.
Yeah.
Strapcoat makes a full gold bracelet for it, full gold plate, and people love it. And I'm just like, I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's it's so gaudy looking.
I know, but you know what? I can kind of understand that sometimes you like a little bit of pizzazz.
A little show.
You know? A little show, yeah,
Little
just a
show.
little bit. But the fact it's a Seiko kind of makes it kind of cool. It's
Right.
It's like a gold Casio.
Right, exactly. Timex just released the Pac-Man watch, and
nice.
they have.
Are you carrying that?
I am, but they're making 3: stainless, black, and then all gold. The all gold, I just couldn't get. I couldn't do it.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
It's pretty cool, being that we're close in age. It's pretty cool. It's a nice throwback.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we should wrap this up.
Sure,
Couple of things. First of all, I would like to hear the audience's suggestions for next. Would you be up for doing this again?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely,
Okay.
100%.
I was thinking.
Just hopefully I have power and internet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should explain. Like, this was supposed to be.
Oh my!
Weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
that tropical storm blew through Long Island, and it was supposed to be nothing. And we get texts from the electric utility saying, "We know the storm's coming. We PSE&G, we're ready for you." They weren't ready.
Yeah.
Power went out on Tuesday, and then the internet went out like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Power came back on the following Sunday.
Oh my God.
So no power for 6 days. I have a standby generator, so I was fine from that aspect. But internet didn't come back until the following Wednesday. So internet was out for 8 days.
Oh my God.
So running a business without internet, not very easy. I have mobile devices, jetpacks, doing my best, but then you have children with no Xbox.
Oh my God.
And that trumps everything. It was very traumatizing for them.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
imagine. Well, I'm glad you're back up. And
we're
running.
back on. We're back on.
Good.
Yeah. So as long as everything's connected, I'm game for another one.
I was thinking we should do. And when I suggested this to you, you said that, and you're exactly like me in this regard. I wanted to cover like the hottest releases of 2020.
Yeah.
Right. And you said, "Oh, well, yeah, but I don't really." It's
not my
follow.
thing.
And I have to say, in hindsight, it's not really my thing either. I like. there's a new Fortis that's just come out, and I'm all over it, right? But that's because I love Fortis.
Right.
And I think by the time this goes out, Rolex will be dropping their
They're supposed to be doing it in September, I think, right? Yeah, that's the...
And to be honest, I'm not really, you know, oh, another multicolored bezel, oh, you know.
It'll be another watch on a different, it'll be a watch they already make, on a bracelet they already make.
Yeah.
And they'll put them together, and the world will go crazy. And... I'll tell you, bless them. I'm so glad they can make, what they do is amazing. I'm so glad they make it happen.
Yeah, but having said that, there is a lot of like little hidden gems.
Sure.
Which I kind of want to discuss or get your reaction to.
I could do it, sure.
You know?
Sure.
In fact, actually, don't do any research. I'll just present it to you, and you just... Marc's reaction to new releases.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. I'll be sure to bring all my my reactions with me.
Lovely. And then if anybody else out there has any suggestions, what you'd like to see, price ranges, maybe we could do top 10 divers or top, you know, guys, do share down below. And I also have to say, you've very kindly sponsored today's show, which is a first for me. So I'm very, very honored. Thank you so much.
You're well. Thank you. Thank you.
And you're keeping my power and lights on. So never jokes aside, thank you very much. And
no problem. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's definitely do this again. It's been very, very fun.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right, well, thank you so much. Guys, don't forget to like this video, comments, thoughts, all the rest of it down below. And we will catch you, hopefully, in the next one. Bye-bye. Ciao.